Y254.
And many thanks for staying with us. So now we move on to our discussion. And but tonight we had asked you, when is the right time for a youth to apply for insurance? Keep sending in your comments and views. But now let's move on to the discussion. And tonight I'm in the company of 3 guests. Of course, a financial consultant at ICEA Lion. Welcome so much.
Thank you.
And Abdul, who's a TV presenter, as well as Julie, who's a TV presenter, who will be helping us discuss this topic. So just starting us off, what exactly is an insurance? You know, most of us, especially young people, just want to get insurance, medical insurance, health insurance, car insurance, gari. You know, what exactly is an insurance policy?
Wow, right. It's a unique way of managing risk that comes along our lifespans. Yeah.
Okay. And when, according to you, when is the right time for you to actually apply for this insurance cover?
Earliest possible.
Earliest possible. Basically, what time I'm a laser campus, just getting into campus, after campus.
Yeah, of course, when he or she have some earnings, because it's a portion of your income which you'll set aside to put aside for your future, right? For example, we have different covers. We have medical covers, we have investment covers, we have saving schemes, we have children education covers, and every kind of life cover. For a youth or somebody who have been to campus or school.
Yes.
And of course, if he or she is not working, she don't have an income, or he don't have an income.
So there's no point of getting a cover then?
A cover, you have to invest something for you to
get a cover.
Yes.
Yeah, just listening from the experts. Julie, what do you think? When is the right time, according to you?
I think for the right time, when a youth needs to apply for a cover, let me say immediately, like for me, what I'm planning for my kids right now, by the moment I'll start producing, let me say producing, the moment I'll start having babies, I'll have a cover ready for them. Because when we look at our country and our society today, we're not sure how things are happening or which direction should we go. So this is one man for himself and God for us all.
Wow.
So personally, according to you, is
earliest time possible. By the moment you give birth, you better do that.
Very fast, as in
me, no lie. Why should I lie? No lie.
I think there's so many things that people can plan for. The future is something that you cannot predict. You know, I will first of all begin by making sure that I have insured myself with a life assurance, that I've got savings with or without children, because I don't know what's going to happen. My savings, I'm saving in the bank, I'm also having my insurance, and yeah, so it's going to be very fantastic to have myself saving for myself, because also we go to work and the youth have also who have started working. There is no guarantee that there is job security for you. So if you have insurance for yourself, not only for your kids, of course for the kids it's a very good idea, and also for yourself it's a much better idea. I believe that's the soonest that someone needs to start investing in insurance.
As early as possible as well. So
yeah,
just
like
coming
yesterday.
Like yesterday.
Exactly.
Okay. So coming to you, Miss Margaret, we have there are different kinds of insurance cover. So as for our youth, which kinds of covers would you advise a youth to have?
Right.
Or do you think are appropriate for a youth?
The most appropriate one is a savings scheme. For example, because obviously after we finish our schools, our colleges, we quickly get to looking for employment.
Yeah.
And because you cannot say that you live with employed all throughout your life. So the most priority, the best cover to take first is a savings scheme, which will enable you along the way, because you don't have to live employed by somebody. If there is that amount of money that you're setting aside, and of course with benefits, you'll be able at one day and say, now I'm going to get into my businesses, because you have a good capital that you have been saving while you employed.
So as an expert, even before someone goes to the medical insurance cover, you know, the fees, the school one, savings one is the one that a a youth should actually make sure that they get?
Yeah, but we should follow up together. Of course, a medical insurance is a must. It's only that we understand it differently too, because of different backgrounds where we come from. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And of course, you shall be explaining to us, the way you're saying we understand medical cover, just for people watching to understand what exactly it entails. We'll be coming to that later. So, Julie, we have different, as they say, sometimes people don't pay their claims. What do you have to say about that?
I think the best thing that you need to do, you need to plan yourself.
As early.
Yes, plan yourself as early enough. Do research. This is the way I want to do this. Because you cannot just wake up from nowhere and say, hey, I want to start my insurance cover. I need to get my insurance today. So you must plan yourself. You also must get the right people. The right kind of companies to associate with in terms of insurance. You also have to actually have a detailed plan. That's the most important thing, like a detailed plan and getting the right kind of people, and also getting to know what involves insurance, like the policies and all that.
And what exactly insurance is all about.
Yes. So you have to do thorough research, then that's when planning comes ahead.
Kwa hivyo watu wasome kwanza before wachukue insurance. Wasichukue tu for the sake of it.
Unajua, by the way, let me say the best time people can get insurance is when probably in high school or campus, because that's the time. Okay, as early as I'm saying, for a youth who's still growing and did not get the such kind of privileges when they're young people. So you have that pocket money and you're given cash every time you go to school, you're given transport. Why don't you just sacrifice and say, hey man, I'm doing this for my future and I'm planning ahead for myself. So you don't necessarily have to wait till you finish school, get a job and do all those kind of stuff. The earlier the better.
There is rather a point that doesn't go well with me, I think. It's
which point doesn't
not
go
getting me
Which
quite
one doesn't
well,
sit well with you?
This
I
is
know.
not saying that you're going to research, it's like you're a professional researcher. You're going to look at the companies that are there in town. There are so many of them. I don't even know how many exactly they are, because there are so many. We hear them, we see them being advertised, and you think that everything you see on TV is gospel truth. So with the amount of time that people have, and I personally speaking for myself, the amount of time I have, it's not even going to be possible for me to research. You'll find a big name, but you pay your policies in time. You do everything in time. You're actually friends while everything is good. But by the time you have your tragedy, it's stricken you, and you have to get your compensation, it becomes another thing. You have to go through processes. And you see, this other thing of getting your insurance by the time you're still in high school, I think if you've got parents who will advise you that way, well, kudos, and very lucky you are. But children in high school, only those who have done business studies, they are the only ones who would have a glimpse of what insurance is. Remember words like compensation policies and other things like that, but they do not know exactly what they're getting into. If they have parents, good. But right here we're talking about someone who wants to get their insurance at the right time, and I believe at the right time is when you know exactly what you're going after. It's not when you don't know the value of something. You have to understand.
So this research, is it essential?
What I believe is that
because even if someone has studied business in school, what exactly does, being in high school, of course you appreciate what we learn in business in high schools and all of that,
Definitely.
But what exactly how much do you know about this insurance even after you studied business?
You say even exactly, that's my point. And we're talking about kids in high school, only those who've got parents that are going to take them into, okay? But now if you are not educated by your parents and you've gotten to the point where you've finished your college already, and we're talking about someone who is already done with college, okay? The average person. This person will need not to research, but I don't know what Julie meant by research, but in my own opinion is I believe that the person who wants to get an insurance is supposed to speak personally to a salesman, and do not make a decision until you have already gotten at least 5 of them to compare from all these big names we see on TV, not mentioning any, of course.
Research doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go to the website and look for all those kinds of things. I can do research by asking a friend, by the way, how does this go for you? This is a new field for me, so tell me, have you been here before? So by you getting to ask people and just consulting, that's another way of research. You don't necessarily have to go Google together, right?
I also think that necessity is a mother of invention. If you do not need something, You cannot just jump into the middle of an ocean and say, I want to get a particular crustacean. You have to need it for you to go and get it. You want crabs? Go for crabs. You don't want to get another crustacean. So you have to need that exactly. Now, one day, I'm just going to give a very brief personal testimony. I was working with an older man, I think twice or a little more my age, and he was saying, you know, Abdul, you have got to insure that, and you have got to insure that and that and that. I was like, oh yeah, I need it, but I don't even know it, and that's why we have the specialist in with us.
Of course, you'll be telling us about the crustacean and crabs, but let's just listen to what Miss Margaret has to say about this. You know, the rates and the policies, the claims, the research. How essential is it, and the rates that they offer these insurance companies? What can you say about that? Being someone who's been there, know how these things, you know, they run.
I believe with claimings, it all depends with the contract that you have signed. And he had said, it's not something that you're not aware of.
So it's something that you know prior.
Even when signing the contract, you've got to read and understand. If you're good enough in keeping the agreement and not coming along the way and like, I'm tired of investing with you guys, I want my money, and you're like, you see, along the way, you'll not go telling people that like for my company is bad. It's good, that is. You'll go saying they are not good because you wanted what you want to be done, but you're not following what is in the contract.
So normally the problem is on the customer.
Yes, I believe.
Okay.
And I testify this for my company.
So now the companies are always like, they do their best to offer the best services.
Okay, I cannot testify for all.
Yeah.
But I know, we even meet such clients along the way. And she's like, no, me with insurance, I'm mad about you guys. I don't want to hear about this. And when you make a follow-up, you get around the way. It is him or her who reached a point and felt like this is not the best company to invest with, or something have just come in. For example, as we have a long-term investments. So if it's a life, like for example, a term of 10 years, you want to invest with us, you have that saving scheme for 10 years. But after the 5th year, you want all your money back. You see, that's not what we agreed. That's not what you signed off. And I believe it is not a good argument, because you want me to do what you want, but
you
not
can't
what.
do what.
Yeah. So that is the main thing that brings in such companies. Some companies are not good. It's not about the company, it's about most cases about the customer and the agreement.
All right. Okay, so just you can tell me about what your views and of course what you think about right now that we are moving to insurance companies, because they have a lot of policies to offer us, some of them that we might not even discuss here and finish. So why do you think it's important or essential for someone to decide to actually save the way you told us that savings is important as first, instead of before going to these other policies? So why would it be essential for one to decide to make savings with an insurance company and not the bank? Because you're so used to just getting your money kwa bank, after a while you take it.
Right. One thing is that it's a disciplined way of saving.
Insurance than the bank?
Yes. Ask me why. Because for instance, you have your bank. You're the owner of the money that you have kept in your account. You can wake up one morning and say, I want to have all my money with me. You can use it the way you want. And maybe it's not because you had planned that this point of time I'll go and get my money, and it's just something that have come. And there are so many things along along life, along the line of the life that you need. But if you have that saving scheme in an insurance company, it's not something that you go and put and take it wherever you want and anytime you want. And because it's like a contract you've started.
So the specified time is when you can get your money.
Yes. And again, it has benefits of its own. For example, if you have a saving scheme with us, if anything happens, a saving scheme for your family or just for yourself, of course you have your beneficiary on the form. If anything happens along the way, maybe you get a permanent disability that you can no longer be able to save for your family, for your own self, there's that benefit of it will be your beneficial will benefit from that.
Okay.
In case of death, because it can happen, and God forbid this, you're no longer there, and that saving scheme is for your family. There's that benefit. There are those benefits that your beneficiary will get. But when you look, like for example, in a bank, they can only get the amount that you saved, but no more benefit beyond that.
Okay. So would you opt for a bank or an insurance company?
I think for me, I'd go for
both.
It's hard to choose. I'll do both. I'll do bank and I'll do insurance. Yes.
Good.
Hearing the benefits that come with insurance company, are you inclined?
I am a little cynical of that. I am not really sure if I would choose to go for insurance because I would really want to be convinced about the service itself. I would want to have precision. Yes, I know about all these saving schemes that insurance offer, and I also know about banks. You know, you've mentioned that you'll get to a point where with the savings scheme, the agreement allows you not to get the money until after a few months or say the stipulated amount of time. Also, there are banking services that you will say you will save in a particular account and you will not get the money at least until 3 months. So I don't quite get this difference because it looks like it's the same. For an amount of time, you're not gonna get your money from the bank. For an amount of time, you're not gonna get your money from the insurance. So yeah, and you know, we are not all of us equal. We have some people who don't want to go for insurance. I'll say, for example, Muslims will not want to go for insurance because it's not permitted in Islam. We have various reasons that do not permit that. So there is this that we need to, you know, someone will need to get before they choose to go for insurance over banking.
Well, that opens up another topic.
Another whole topic when it comes.
We'll get into that maybe next week. But just getting your parting shots on this insurance policy issue. Starting with you, Julie.
Yes.
What is your parting shot? What can you say about insurance and youth getting it earlier? Only say very fast. Okay.
Very, very fast. No second thoughts. Because you see, you're saving.
Very confident, like
Very. Yes.
Very fast. Because you see, the purpose is you're saving for the future. You want a better life for yourself. You also want a better life for your kids. So the moment you realize, as in when you look at our country right now, we don't know where next we are headed. So many things are unpredictable. And the only way you can secure your future early enough is plan for it early enough. Because people say, if you fail to plan, you're also planning to fail. So you better do your best early enough, and you won't blame yourself later on. You'll be like, yeah, even if you fail, you'll be like, yes, I did it. And so whatever happens has already happened. So I'll go for insurance, yes, 1. I'd go for banking, yes, 2. At the very word go. 20.
Now for you, as early as possible.
As early as early as possible, as long as I have the resources and capability. Why shouldn't I start?
Okay.
It's not hard to save 200 in a day ukose kukula lunch. Yeah, just save it and you're gonna see the benefits of it later on in future.
Okay, Abdul.
A burning matter, first of all, is that Kenyans
just tell us what you know as we conclude.
Exactly. As we conclude, we need, first of all, before you ever think that you want to chew a whole cow, like you chew, not eat, but chew a whole cow.
Okay.
For my own reasons, you have to first of all think about: can I manage just a quarter of a kilogram of the cow, or can you manage even a tail at least? You see, people have got, first of all, before you start insuring yourself, you have to make sure you have a proper saving culture. It's one of the very bad financial mistakes that not only the youth in the country make, but anyone. You see, you get more money and you think you're going to be more spendthrift, and more money, more problems, and it really makes a whole lot of sense, and it will look like a very bad miracle, or let's say a nightmare for you to you don't have a good saving culture. You get more money, you got more problems, and you wonder what exactly is going wrong. I thought if I'm going to get more money, I'm going to have less problems. So first of all, people have got to learn the culture of saving as you plan for your future, and then when you're going for insurance, learn about your insurance covers and the policies first, the ones that you need from several of them before you make your solution, your choices.
Okay.
Actually, that's all.
Okay, just coming to you, Miss Margaret, in about 26 seconds, tell us what you think about this whole thing and what your parting shot is, and especially to the youth about the insurance cover.
Okay, to the youth, just as like
Julie has said.
It is a necessity, not an option, actually.
Very important.
Very, very important.
Okay.
Because you get, assuming or just taking like you're not part of that. you may get yourself in a situation like the way we have medical covers.
Yeah.
Some people do no, this I don't need this. Some people will even tell you that I believe in God. I know the precious blood of Jesus of God, but I don't. You see, sad. But when she or he gets into that big bill, in fact, some people do call us from the hospitals.
And that time they had never.
Yeah. So it is crucial. It is important. And you should take it earliest possible.
Okay.
As a youth.
All right. I believe the youth who are watching have really listened to this amazing discussion from you guys. Thank you so much for coming. And I'd just like us to continue having this conversation just to enlighten the youth, especially who we don't know much about these covers and policies, you know, so that we can get to learn more. So that discussion rather marks the end of our bulletin. But remember, this conversation can continue off air. Just keep talking to us. Our SMS line is 22162, starting with the word news, or you can tweet at Y254 channel. The hashtag to use is Y254 news updates. My name is Doreen Arange, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Insuarance.